Hello, I'm Rythian, and this is for Warcraft, Mists of Pandaria. Today, we're going to take a look at the Shaman changes. Shaman. 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 Let's stick with Shaman. That's about right. I'm on my little goblin Shaman. Probably the coolest Shaman in the world. Next to Thrall. Thrall's pretty cool. And we're going to take a look at the changes, but first, let's find somewhere to get rid of all this rain. And maybe go back to the starting area. Actually, that was a pretty good place. This is the Jade Forest. Which is the well done. This is the only area that's open for testing right now. So let's take a look from over here. Right off the bat, we see the standards. Elemental, Enhancement, Restoration. I mainly play Elemental, so let's click Learn. That'll give us the standard ones. You notice that everything is called Elemental first, just in case you forgot what it's called. Nothing new here, everything is pretty much the same. Of course, we're going into talents, and this is where the exciting bit happens. This is pretty cool. Astral Shift is like just a defense. It has a cool name and everything, but it's pretty much just, you know, reduce your damage taken. So, probably PvP talent, but could also be used for when, you know, the boss is unleashing his super ability on you or whatever. Personal cooldown. This gives you a shield of damage, similar. I think this is probably stronger, reducing damage taken by 40, compared to this, which is, you know, absorb. But it's nice, and it's a shorter cooldown totem. This is a passive thing. Passives are awesome, because you don't have to think about it, you just pop them, and they're always there. Your maximum health is increased, and threat level is reduced. Threat level? Really? Is that it? Not too big a fan of this one. I'd probably just stick with this one. Astral Shift seems pretty cool, so let's go with that one. Frozen Power is pretty cool. Turns Frost Chuck into a snare, which is always awesome. Both for PvE and PvP, really. Especially, I mean, even in PvE, if you're running around killing people, it's at range, it's pretty cool to let them be stuck somewhere so they don't go up and slam on you. Earth Grab. Did we used to have Earth Grab at some point? And then it was... No, yeah. It's just basically a buff to Earthbind, pretty much. Yeah, and again, it's a snare thing. Ensnare the legs of all enemies for 5 seconds. That's pretty cool, but it will only work once and so on. So, I guess... those two are pretty similar, I suppose. Frozen Power, I mean, you can spam Frost Shock a lot more, I think. So. This one will pulse. Windwalk will grant people movement speed. That's pretty handy. Well, not actually movement speed. I should finish reading before I say something. Immunity to movement impairing effects. Situational. But I guess that's the point of all these talent systems anyway. They're supposed to be kind of situational. That's what it's for. I'm going to stick with Frozen Power. This seems pretty strong. On level 45, we have either this one, which finishes the cooldown on all totems with a base cooldown shorter than 5 minutes. Does that include Fire Elemental? Shorter than 5 minutes, that's exactly 5 minutes. Does that count? I think it probably counts. So that's kind of nice, I suppose. You popped all your super totems and then you can pop them again. So you know, preparation style thing. Raven Lords come to say hello. Hello. When a totem is replaced or destroyed, the cooldown is reduced. That could be pretty handy, I suppose. I wonder if this works for, again, like Fire Elemental. So you use the Fire Elemental and then it gets destroyed. Well, who would destroy it though? They'd really not be destroyed in PvE. And you can't really replace it since it's off cooldown. Well, maybe again, maybe PvP, maybe not. Totemic Projection relocates your active totems. That convenience, I suppose. You pop down your things and then you want to just move them because you're moving. But honestly, in currently and live, like every single totem I have, I just place down again without worrying about them. Pretty much except for, you know, the elemental totems, which obviously have a longer cooldown, so I can't replace them. But that's a... eh. I'd go for Call of the Elements in that one. At least assuming it'll work on Fire Elemental Totem, which I think it will. Next level. These we've seen before. Elemental Mastery. Usually it looks like the other one. This just gives you haste. Flat, simple buff, really. This one is like the Swiftness thing, except it's called Ancestral Swiftness now instead of Nature Swiftness. You know, turn something into an instant spell. That's also sort of... They've like split that spell. Like, what the hell was it called before? But it had that icon anyway. I think it was just called Elemental Mastery actually, or something similar. They just split it into two. One that gives you haste and one that gives you the instant cast. Well, instant cast is nice and everything, and it also gives you passive melee and spell haste, so that's cool, but I'd probably still stick with this one. You know, good. 2 minute cooldown, pretty good to macro with a trinket or something. Oh, this seems cool though. Echo. That's pretty cool. Chance to duplicating the spell. Yeah, that's cool. I guess this is the sort of thing you'd look up, like, once it's released. Like, you go to Legious Jerks or something and find out which actually gives you the most DPS. I assume... yeah. It's again one of those things, like random chance versus, you know, a steady increase. I'm gonna go with that one for now. And here we get a new totem, Healing Tide. It's basically an upgradable healing stream, I suppose. Seems pretty strong, and it's smart heal too. Heals the most injured raid members. It's nice. Probably could be pretty strong with one buffed and so on. But it does only heal 5 people though. Worth considering. Pretty much just something you won't really bother getting at all if you're not Restoration though. I guess you could, but then again you'd lose out on stuff like this. When you deal direct damage, 40% is copied to heal. Well, that's also a healing thing. But this is cooler though, because this means you can DPS and still heal without having to drop down a totem or anything. Okay. Now this is cool as well. So if you cast heals or lightning bolt on someone in the healing rain, other allies standing in the healing rain will share the healing. But that means that if you are DPS, you were supposed to drop down a healing rain and then DPS? I don't know about that one. I'll just probably do this one. Because then you just pop it and damage a bit, and then, like, you know, it's... You macro it with something and you kind of don't really think about it. You pop it and they do damage, and then you just happen to help out healing. Yeah. Now these ones I'd like to try, but again, not level 90 yet. Unleashed Fury is similar to just Unleash Weapon Element or whatever it's called before. Seems to be pretty good. Just judging from the stuff. Flame Tongue increases your damage taken and so on. Wind Fury, pretty sweet. Earth Living, good. The other two, the more quote-unquote tanking on PvP. This seems pretty strong though. This one... Oh, okay, this is cool. Like, you summon Earth and Fire Elementals, but they are actual pets. So you can control them and they get abilities. Now that is pretty damn badass, actually. So instead of just being guardians, they qualify as pets, and you can move them around and command them, which is so nice, because by God, the amount of times my Fire Elemental has just bugged out and stood still instead of attacking the boss. Oh man, this is definitely going to be the one. I barely even want to look at that one, but I guess we have to. Or not. The game didn't want me to look at that one. Oh, there we go. Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna log right back in. Okay, and we're back. Now, let's see if the game will let us read over the tooltip for that talent this time. Elemental Blast. It's just a nuke, quite simply. That buffs you as well on a 12-sec cooldown. Interesting, but seriously, how's that gonna beat buffing up your cool elementals? I don't think it will. But then again, it does give you a buff on your crit, haste, mastery, whatever. It'll pretty much be something you pop every 12 seconds, and yeah, Possibly. Again, that's something that people might figure out which one will give you the most DPS. But I don't know. I think this sounds pretty cool. Because good old Flamey over here, he could really use some help controlling him. Anyway, so that's a Shaman. So until next time, goodbye.